They warn me not to look at the cameras when the elevator stops on the 9th floor. Not because of what's up there, no, they say the 9th floor has been sealed for decades, ever since the fire. No one should be pressing the button. No one should be going up. And yet, sometimes, at exactly 3:17 a.m., the elevator goes up there anyway. Alone in the control room, sipping stale coffee and half-dreaming, I watched the feed. I should have ignored it. But that night, the elevator pinged, and the doors opened. A woman stepped inside. Long black hair. No shoes. Pale skin, dripping like she'd come in from the rain. She turned slowly to face the camera. And whispered my name. I didn't know her. But she knew me. The worst part? There was no guest registered under that room number. And the 9th floor hasn't existed since 1984. I'm Alex Price, 29, recently divorced, and, at the time, desperate for a job that offered a place to stay. That's how I ended up as night security at the Ridge Pine Summit Resort. It was the kind of place rich people fled to when they were tired of being rich in New York or LA. A 10-story modernist glass and stone hotel balanced over the cliffs of Oregon's jagged coast. Think fire pits, mood lighting, overpriced martinis. But there's something they don't put in the brochure. Floor 9. It's not visible from the lobby. It doesn't show up when you're booking rooms. Even in the elevator, there's a button for 8, and one for 10, but nothing in between. I asked my supervisor about it on my second week. He was an older guy named Mason, looked like he hadn't slept properly since 1996. Just don't mess with it, he said, not even looking up from his clipboard. If the elevator stops there, you radio me immediately. You don't leave the desk. You don't go looking. That seemed dramatic. But I didn't argue. I'd only been there 2 weeks and had already learned there were rules at Ridgepine, unspoken but deadly serious. Like, don't clean the pool past 2 a.m., don't use the west stairwell after midnight. Don't knock on room 609 twice in the same hour. Weird stuff. But the staff treated it like OSHA policy. One night, Mason called out sick, and I was left alone on the night shift. At 3:17 a.m., the elevator moved. There were no active keycards used. No motion on the thermal sensors. And yet, the elevator dinged, and stopped on floor 9. I stared at the feed. Nothing. Then the camera fizzed, and a frame skipped. Suddenly, there was someone standing in the elevator. She didn't enter. She appeared. She wore a long hotel robe. Her hands were limp at her sides. Her face, blurry, unreadable. But her hair stuck to her skin like seaweed. Like she'd drowned. And she was looking straight at the camera. That's when she said my name. I jumped back from the monitor so fast I nearly spilled my coffee. My heart thudded in my ears. That's impossible, I whispered aloud, as if that would make it less real. I rewound the feed. The timestamp read, 3 hours 17 minutes and 7 seconds, elevator empty. 3 hours 17 minutes and 8 seconds, frame skip. 3 hours 17 minutes and 9 seconds, she was there. Whispering. I turned off the monitor. But curiosity, it's a parasite. It wriggles in your brain. I should have left it alone. I should have just ignored the damn thing, told myself it was a glitch. But I didn't. I called Mason. He answered on the first ring. Did you see her? What the hell is going on, man? Did she say your name? A long pause. Yes. Silence. Okay, Mason said, voice low. Don't. Look. Again. That was all he said. Then he hung up. I didn't sleep the next day. I couldn't. Over the next few nights, nothing happened. But I couldn't stop thinking about her. I started researching Ridgepine's history. There was no mention of a fire. No news stories, no reports. But I did find an old archived floor plan. 10 floors. Floor 9 was once a private luxury suite, the entire floor converted for one long-term guest. Her name was Eloise Marrow. Heiress. Eccentric. Famous in the late 70s for her collection of haunted artifacts. Some called her a witch. Others said she was trying to contact her dead husband. One night in 1984, Eloise went missing. The entire 9th floor was sealed. Official story: structural fire risk. No one questioned it. Until now. The next time the elevator stopped on 9, I did something stupid. I got in. At 3:17 a.m., I walked to the elevator, heart pounding, camera feeds flickering with static. I pressed 9. Nothing happened. The button didn't even exist. But then, the lights dimmed, and the elevator moved. When the doors opened, I felt cold wash over me. The hallway was covered in white sheets. Furniture hidden beneath them, like the floor had been hastily abandoned. Everything smelled like brine, mildew, and salt. I stepped forward. The walls pulsed slightly, as if breathing. Down the hall, I saw a door at the end. Number 999. It was open. Inside, an enormous suite. Chandeliers still flickering. Velvet chairs. Mirrors warped by time. The bed was made, untouched for years. But the bathtub was full of water. Still warm. Rippling. That's when I heard it. A soft hum. Like a radio station, just barely out of tune. I turned around. She was standing in the hallway. The woman from the camera. Her eyes were empty sockets. And she was humming. I stumbled backward into the suite, slamming the door, but it didn't latch. Her hum grew louder, vibrating the air like feedback. I pressed my back against the far wall, gripping the nearest object, a small bronze statue from the desk. The lights began to flicker. The woman stepped through the door without touching it. Her feet didn't move, she just slid forward. She raised a hand. "I waited for you," she rasped. "What do you want?" I asked, voice shaking. She pointed at the tub. I never left. I looked at the water. It had gone pitch black. I sank and woke up, here. She stepped closer. "You pressed the button. That means you belong to the floor now." No, I didn't. The elevator moved on its own. That's what they all say. Her mouth unhinged, jaw cracking open far too wide. And from it came a voice, but not hers. Mine. A recording. Of me. Saying her name. On the monitor. I screamed, raising the statue and throwing it. It passed through her. She didn't flinch. But the room did. The walls trembled. The chandelier dropped a crystal. The radio in the corner hissed to life, then played an old song. Musical note: "I'll be seeing you, in all the old familiar places," musical note. She howled, shrieking like a broken modem. Her form flickered, solid, then missed, then back. And the elevator dinged. A figure stood in the doorway. Mason. He threw something, an object, at her. It hit the floor. A pocket watch. The woman screamed. The air bent inward, sucked toward her like a black hole. She imploded, screaming my name, and vanished into the bathtub. Silence. Mason pulled me up. She marks those who see her. But she can only take them if they say her name aloud. What is she? She's what's left when you try to bring back someone who should have stayed dead. He handed me the pocket watch. This belonged to her husband. He died in that bathtub. She never accepted it. What now? We seal the floor. Again. We took the stairs down. The elevator, thankfully, stayed quiet. Back at the security office, Mason poured us each a glass of something strong and cheap. Neither of us said much. "Don't ask me why the hotel keeps running," he finally said. "It's got ties. Rich people know how to bury stories." They just keep quiet and hire people like me to watch the cracks. I looked at the monitor. The feed from floor 9 was now static. Did she ever take someone? Mason nodded. A few. Before we figured out how to stop her. All staff. Never guests. She likes familiarity. He stared into his drink. She used to be a person, you know. But the rituals twisted her. Now she's that. I looked at the pocket watch. It ticked normally, but the second hand sometimes skipped backward. Mason put a hand on my shoulder. Don't speak her name. Ever. Not even in your thoughts. I nodded. But the tune kept playing in my head. Musical note, I'll be seeing you, musical note. I quit the job a week later. Too many near misses. Too many nights with voices whispering through the walls. I took the pocket watch with me, couldn't bear to leave it behind. I live far inland now. Somewhere quiet. But I still dream about that floor. Sometimes, I wake up at 3:17 a.m. and find my bedroom colder than it should be. Sometimes, I hear humming from the hallway. And once, just once, I saw a wet footprint outside my bathroom door. Last night, I got a package in the mail. No return address. Inside was a VHS tape. Written in Sharpie. Do not watch alone. 3:17. Curiosity is a parasite. I don't know if I'll watch it. But the clock just hit 3:15 a.m. And something's knocking. Not at the door. From under the tub.